これからみんなでめちゃくちゃ踊って騒ごう騒ごう。
Headbanger. Hit me.
Hi and welcome. This is Vince of vinceprep.com. Columbia essays are out, and it's a great first set of essays. I'm going to be making a series of videos about these essays. So let's get started. The short answer question: what's your immediate post-MBA professional goal? 51 characters. Not even half of a tweet. 51 characters max. So this is really specific. They give you some examples. Notice there's no location mentioned. There's no title mentioned. The difference is here, I think. So work in business development implies a lateral move. I'm going to change my career from whatever you're doing now, whatever it is you do. You're trying to get into business development. You might be at a media company now. You know, statistically, probably not a lot of you work in media. Some of you may. Maybe you don't, but you want to. But anyway, the point is the function is specified. Business development. And again, I think this first one is for someone who's changing her career. So you may be changing your career as well. So work in is not very impressive. You're going in, you know, what business development is important. That's not something you could probably do pre-MBA unless you're really lucky or your company's really small or you're amazingly good. Usually business development is something done by MBAs. And it's assumed here that you're changing your career. Anyway, it's not multiple choice. I'm just going through these examples and trying to analyze them. Strategy consulting also implies you're going to change your career and you're going to join strategy consulting firms. So, and we know how that works, and there's not much detail that they need. Columbia knows how strategy consulting works for MBA holders. Launch a data management startup. This one's really different than the first two, obviously. Data management depends, you may be doing a different kind of startup, but startup is key, and not join startup, but launch startup. That differentiates you completely as an entrepreneur. And so when you get down to career goals and how Columbia helps you, presumably if you're doing startup, you're going to focus in Essay 1 about how Columbia helps you do the startup. Now be careful. I'll talk in the next video about Essay 2, which is why, basically why New York City and other resources at Columbia, master classes, immersion seminars, you know, accomplished professors who teach not only researchers but also people working in New York City in various industries. So here, Columbia MBA, I think, is really, in the classic sense, the core curriculum of Columbia, not the resources of New York City or the master classes or the experts in residence and all that other stuff that Columbia has, but really the core curriculum of Columbia helps you with whatever comes next. So presumably growing your startup. You're not going to flip it in 2 years, I don't think. From 2021 on, what's the next stage for that startup that you'll be launching in 2021? Or sorry, in 2019. After consulting, what's next for you? Most people don't stay in consulting unless they're trying to become a manager, principal, managing director, etc. Or biz dev. After biz dev, if you're going to stay in media, what's next? CFO, CEO, COO, whatever it is, step by step. So career goals going forward. So it's a question about what, and it's a question about how Columbia. But so right now, list everything about Columbia that you know, and then you'll figure it out later with your August consultant, which parts of it go in Essay 1, which parts of it go in Essay 2. Figure that out later. But for now, dig deeply into Columbia. And the last thing I'll say for this video, signing off, is I really respect the Columbia admissions team giving you choice here, a range of words. You might be able to answer this question in 100 words. That would be impressive. On the other hand, I think a lot of my clients, a lot of Agos clients, are going to probably take up to 750 or maybe close to 750 words to fully explain their career goals. Because, you know, at Agos, 80% of our clients or more are Japanese, and Americans don't really deeply understand Japan business. So the goals that you have might not fully make sense to an American or, you know, Columbia Admissions Office reader, most of whom that I know are Americans. You may want to explain the context of the goal, and it might take more than 750 words. Agos also, and I also have clients outside Japan, meaning in America or in Europe, and for you, if the goal is fairly straightforward, you might not need 750 words. It really depends on where you are and how much context you think the admissions office needs. Agos has relationships with the admissions officers. We understand as much as we can, and we try to listen to what they say and read between the lines of what they say to understand how much context they do or don't have about, in the case of Agos, Japan and Japanese business. That's our job, is to essentially be like proxy admissions officers, thinking like they do. Anyway, that's my sales pitch. I don't want to get into that right now because I want you to get started on these essays. Right after this video, get out a napkin and a pencil, or your notebook, or your iPad, or your voice recorder, or your whiteboard if you're a visual thinker. Start answering these questions today, no matter where you're applying, even if it's not Columbia in the end, if you don't submit. Lots of my clients apply to Columbia. It's a great program and a great location. But even if you don't end up submitting it, right now, start thinking about how you're going to answer these questions, because you're going to have to answer these, if not in an essay, absolutely in an interview. These are critical questions. So get started. Get started now. As always, please subscribe for the latest updates. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.